Well, first of all, Dave and I met at the University of North Dakota, and we were both freshmen, and recruited by Bill Selman. Of course, we didn't know much about each other, other than when we first met. But here was this young, skinny kid. I think he was 16 years old. He didn't turn 17 until December 23rd. So that was the first time that we got to know each other, and then I certainly found out in a hurry that he was a pretty competitive guy and a great guy. He was kind of tall, 6'1", 6'2", but I don't think Dave weighed more than about $1.45 at the time, and didn't have a lot of muscle on him, but maybe I thought he was going to be our trainer or something like that, but he turned out to be a heck of a hockey player. He was competitive, he was dedicated, he was disciplined, dedicated to teammates, hardworking, and also very skilled. He always had this green jacket on, this little thin green jacket. And it could be 20 below, and he only maybe had a polo underneath it, pair of long pants, hat pulled down, hands kind of like this in his pockets, walking to class. You know, he wondered, like, how did this guy survive a couple of the winters? You know, so a big memory, but also just he loved to laugh, and we had fun, and you know, just sit around the dorm and BS about this and that and the other. But no, he's just a true friend. All right, without further ado, I want to introduce to you Dave Hudson, our newest member in the UND Hall of Fame. Dave, come on up here.
Thanks, John. I'm still about the same size, but I carried you up and down those stairs at DU when we were training. You were weighed 201, I weighed 170, I recall. It wasn't much of a trade on my part. First, I want to congratulate my fellow inductees and the teams being honored tonight. It's a privilege to share this moment with you. Thank you, Coach Jackson, for that unforgettable phone call. And to the selection committee, I'm truly honored. And I also want to make special recognition of Ellie Johnson. I don't know how you did it, but you put all these guys together, especially guys my age. So thank you for that. To my family here tonight, my partner Nadine, my son Andy, my daughter-in-law Amber, who is home sick with my grandson Sawyer, and I wish they could be here, but health is more important. And you give me more than I could ever repay. And to my parents, my brother Terry, my sisters Diane and Bonnie, who supported me every step of the way. I'm truly a blessed man. Thank you. Hockey is the ultimate sport, and any success I've had is inseparable from the teammates, the coaches, and the friends who welcomed me as a 16-year-old kid from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Many of you are here tonight. Thank you for believing in me. Leaving home at that age was not easy. My family was moving to southwestern Ontario, 1,100 miles away, and I had choices: to play junior A hockey in Moose Jaw, go to St. Catharines to play junior A, or play college hockey at North Dakota or Cornell. I took the gamble. I had never seen a college hockey game. My dream was always to play in the National Hockey League. My mom was pushing school. North Dakota became the answer. Coach Selman, it was his first year, picked me up at the airport that fall. He had never seen me play, never even met me. I was, like John said, 6 foot, 150 pounds, and 16 years old. I'm pretty sure he was in shock. He dropped me off at McVeigh Hall, which isn't there, I found out today. and that became home. Looking back, I imagine he either called Art Miller, who was responsible for recruiting me, and asked, "What the hell is this?" Or, and probably he did this, headed to Matt's Tavern to discuss the process of what he had just seen. My roommate that semester, first semester, was 23, from Montana with a military background. No interest in hockey, never seen a hockey game. It's strictly unclear who was more stunned, him or me. Well, soon I met my future teammates, who were 2 to 7 years older than I. I'm glad I couldn't read their minds either. Thankfully, off-the-ice training began, and I could outrun most of them, probably out of fear. That definitely helped me. Freshmen weren't allowed to play varsity at that time, so the first game was from the stands watching University of North Dakota take on Michigan Tech. It was the fastest hockey game I'd ever seen. The barn was packed, roaring with students, most of them overserved, and North Dakota won that game. Their goalie was a guy named Tony Esposito, now in the NHL Hall of Fame. I called home that night and I said, "I don't think I can play in this league." My parents told me, "Be patient, you've always played with older guys, stick it out, and you can't afford to come home anyway." They were right. Coincidentally, my first NHL goal came against that same guy, Tony Esposito. Once I hit the ice with the North Dakota players, I was accepted. All of us came from very humble beginnings. Some are spent working construction, paper mills, and farms. My particular job was working on tobacco fields. Today, players have the Holy Grail, the Ralph Engelstad Arena. They receive NIL money. We receive nil money. Spelled the same, pronounced differently, with a very different meaning. Our nil meant none. We practiced and played in the barn. The only difference from outside temperatures was the absence of wind. Visiting teams hated coming in here. We loved it. Our brand of hockey was fast, relentless, and physical. Beating Michigan Tech in my sophomore year in their building heading into the Frozen Four in Duluth was special. Our students took over the entire downtown of Duluth. I believe our era changed the perception of college hockey. The NHL began to see college players as legitimate pro prospects. Many of us proved it. There's 2 classes behind me, sent 6 or 7 guys pro. My great friend and teammate Rick Wilson has his name engraved on the Stanley Cup. Today, UND has produced over 100 NHL players, I don't even know the number anymore, and multiple first-round picks, all a tribute to this program here. This is where I grew up. Some say I'm still working on that, as you can tell. I was lucky to be taken in by teammates who treated me like family. I spent holidays at their homes. The bond among North Dakota players is something special. There has been no comparison. Lifelong friendships were forged here. Life after hockey, pro hockey, wasn't easy. I call it the era when the cheering stopped. I leaned on the lessons learned from my years here. Outwork others, stay positive, and above all, humility. One charity exhibition game of hockey 2 years after I retired from pro changed my life. I accepted an invitation to play in Fort Worth, Texas, local pros against a group of Roman Catholic priests. This is true, who toured the world raising money for charity. They were called the Flying Fathers. I'm sure you're all are getting them. The stadium was full, and they put on quite a show, Harlem Globetrotters. All good players, by the way. After the game, the promoter asked me if he could bring a gentleman and his son into the dressing room to meet me. Of course, I agreed. He told me he was a season ticket holder in New York and enjoyed watching me play. I chatted with him and his son, Scott. Then he asked me what I did for a living. I told him I was in commercial print sales. He immediately reached into his pocket, pulled out his business card, and his words I'll never forget. He says, "I'm Tony Arnar, head of all purchasing of print material at American Airlines." That took my breath away. "Perhaps we can have lunch next week," he said. I said, "Do I have to wait?" Mr. Arnar introduced me to his team and promised only an opportunity. My work ethic and desire to compete, developed right here at UND, allowed me to grow that opportunity into $1 million account. Today, I have my own company, built from scratch. We call it a team. We're now the largest family-owned print company in the state, and I have the best leadership, my son and best friend, Andy. Thank you for being here, Andy. Those 4 years at UND were the best of my hockey life. The teammates and coaches I have had here are directly responsible for anything I've achieved on and or off the ice. Thank you. In closing, I want to send prayers and positive thoughts to two of my wingers, Doug Johnson and Bob Duncan, and to Bob's wife, Debbie. I wish you could be here. By the way, Bob and Debbie produced our Hobie Baker Award winner, Ryan Duncan. I had the pleasure of playing with Ryan about a month ago. What a fine kid. I'm deeply grateful for this honor. To my teammates here tonight, we are and always will be friends for life. Thank you. Thank you very much.